We begin right now, though, with Trump, who is known for, if nothing else, his reality star TV instincts. He knows about clashes in media narratives. He knows about how you get attention, but he has found himself out reality showed, at least for a day, by the angry Elon Musk. You might have heard the comparisons now to jilted lovers, to breakups, to divorces, to divestitures, whatever you want to call it, whatever analogy you want to use. Trump is trying to wrest back control of a political and media cycle that he clearly lost for a minute there, because Musk came out swinging, smearing Donald Trump with all kinds of allegations, some of which we're not going to repeat because we deal in evidence and news, some of which are just political opinions. Musk saying Trump should be impeached after working with him for the first 130 days. Also saying that Trump is basically lying about what's in this big economic bill that is hanging in the balance, and then pushing 4 different narratives back. So Trump is trying to hit back. He called several outlets today, did phone interviews, continued to try to deal with what has clearly spun out of control for him. He alluded to Musk's alleged drug use, something that we should tell you Musk has denied, but was reported in the New York Times regarding last year activities on the campaign trail. Trump reaching out to CNN to say, and tell me if this reminds you of any friend you've ever had telling you they're over something, quote, "I'm not even thinking about Elon. The poor guy's got a problem. Not thinking about him, just calling around talking about him." Quote, "I won't be speaking to him for a while, I guess," Trump said, and then added, "I wish him well." He called ABC News to say, quote, "You mean the man who has lost his mind?" He went over to Fox, repeating that attack, saying Musk has totally lost it. And the White House is saying Trump doesn't even want that Tesla anymore. The Tesla that he blatantly hawked on the White House lawn. Again, it would all seem like a petty reality show storyline if this wasn't the people's business, but they're putting out word he doesn't want it. MAGA, meanwhile, is in a clash because its 2 leaders or 2 dads or whatever you want to call it are fighting in a way that doesn't leave it easy for people to pick sides. Remember, there is the Republican Party and all of that sort of official stuff, but then there's the wider MAGA movement, which includes people who come out of broadcasting, podcasting, activism, and a lot of them like Elon Musk. They've certainly spent months with him as the co-pilot, but they also appreciated his money and his activities last year. And so it's not so easy for them to just pick sides, especially with how fast this is unfurled. Take Trump's FBI director, Kash Patel, who has some government experience, but also saw himself as a kind of a mini Musk going around the country, hawking different things, using X constantly. And he ended up learning some of the details about the smears in real time on, of course, appropriately, Joe Rogan's hit podcast.
This is going to come up because it's been going on since we've been recording here. Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat, Joe. You want to check the tweet that Elon just put out a little bit ago?
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I'm not participating in any of that conversation
What
between
is he?
Elon
Have
and
a
Trump.
nice day, DJD. Someone should take his phone away.
I'm just staying out of the Trump-Elon thing. That's way outside
What
my
the
lane.
f*** are they doing?
I know my lane, and that ain't it.
You can say everyone's always performing to some degree, but you can kind of feel the palpable discomfort. Remember, Musk and Trump have been on Joe Rogan's show with some of the most viewed episodes ever, which is the type of thing they track. Common in all media to track that. And Joe Rogan almost doesn't know what to do with it. The FBI director says quite plainly he's not getting involved. Trump has also been pressed about these accusations, although here you'll see the mics go dead.
We're going to have a little discussion now, very private. And I just want to thank you all for being here. And thank you very much, media. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, any response to Elon Musk claiming about the Epstein files?
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
That's one question this president is not taking. Now, you can see the clear outlines of why this matters, even as there has been so much mockery and sort of people just sort of enjoying aspects of it or a schadenfreude aspect of it. But there's a lot of real-world implications. And remember, it began allegedly or ostensibly with Musk being mad about the economic bill, the spending. And he's been pretty blunt, saying he didn't get enough for his companies, which is a reminder that for all the talk of efficiency or cutting waste, fraud, and abuse, the thing that has him the most upset isn't anything he claimed that his agency was about or the fixes he wanted to make for the American people. It didn't take long for him to publicly, blatantly admit that the real dividing line is whether he gets enough money out of the government. And so Republican lawmakers have been stuck with the bill, the bag, the drama of this as they still try to get the original legislation over the finish line.
The blow-up that happened this week was very surprising, disappointing to me.
I think a lot of people said they knew it was inevitable, you know, and here we are.
There's still a lot of noise right now.
I don't think lashing out on the internet is the way to handle any kind of disagreement, especially when you have each other's cell phones.
I trust the math from the guy that lands rockets backwards over the politicians.
I tell you what, Elon, this is what I'll do. Come down to Texas 22nd District, right? I'll pay your filing fee and run against me.
I mean, it's just going off the deep end.
He's taken the high ground with Elon and the back and forth online.
The battle between Elon Musk and President Trump has gotten incredibly ugly, and it's deeply, deeply unfortunate.
I hate to see it. I think America hates to see it.
I'm not sure that all of America hates to see it. People have certainly been tuning into aspects of it and feeling like maybe these two people who were so self-interested, who are now fighting over their self-interest, are proving some of the problems with these kind of folks in charge. That's been one of the obvious reactions and criticisms, but you can just see how this is a big problem for Republicans. Musk also clashing with Trump ally Steve Bannon, who called on Trump to both deport Musk, which probably is not lawful based on his status, and also seize one of his companies, SpaceX, which, again, might sound like rhetoric, but we're in a Trump era where they have been breaking rules left and right. So you kind of have to face the music if you want to take it seriously. And remember, these are tools they have threatened others with. Now they're threatening someone that was their ally as of last week. Musk continued to attack online, which is, of course, where he has followers and influence, which drives all kinds of traction, and he bashed Bannon in several posts of his own. Fox News also trying to deal with it.
I don't like it. I want it to stop. I want to tell them, if they're both watching, knock it off.
Look, there's nothing anyone can do about it. It makes me sad. You know, it makes a lot of people sad.
Guys fight. Guys sometimes will punch you in the face, and the next night you're having a beer.
I think that Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they'll work it out eventually. They'll become friends again.
Maybe they can patch things up. I mean, Vance called Trump Hitler, and he's on the ticket.
That is true, but it also speaks to the way this has all been so transactional. And this happened in Trump's first term. It's happening again. It is very hard for people to work with, alongside, or for Donald Trump. Junior aides, lawyers, powerful men of industry like Elon Musk. It doesn't seem to matter where you are in the hierarchy or what the project is. We have seen this pattern play out again and again and again. And it raises questions about the fitness of the president. That's why Elon Musk is saying he should be impeached, which is not something that's gained a lot of traction this week. But these are the problems of Donald Trump's decisions and how he works with people. As for the ugliness, there's all kinds of impact. The markets don't like it. Tesla is getting rocked, dropping 14% from Wednesday to Thursday, which on paper means it costs Elon Musk $20 billion in a year where he's already paid a lot on paper for the Trumpification of his brand. Then there's the Trump Technology Group, down 8%, which means they're down about $200 million. And while stock market can be hard to read, a lot of experts say this is a direct response to these two people who are supposed to be adult businessmen and leaders acting like actual total children. Axios reporting the bigger hit to Trump's bottom line, though, was the roughly 10% drop in the meme coin. That would be another $900 million. If you don't think these two are keeping track of this, and it could also eventually quiet them down, and you haven't followed how much grifting is going on, how much crony capitalism has focused the attention of the first 130 days. Now, does Musk really worry about losing all these contracts? What Trump said hasn't started to happen yet, and we have a lot of evidence that it would be complicated to unwind those. Also, if Donald Trump really wanted to cancel those contracts, he shouldn't have said he wanted to do it to hurt Musk. That is exactly the kind of improper purpose which could lead to judicial review or judges pausing any such effort. Now, when you look at those threats, those cuts, Trump's budget director was pressed on this just today.
Is that under serious consideration?
Look, we recognize that Elon benefits from, and his companies benefit from the taxpayer dollars, right? We are trying to put together the best bill for the American people as we possibly can.
It sounds like a yes.
It went back and forth like that. Then there are all the jokes. The Murdoch-owned New York Post went with "I hate my ex" for the cover and a Valentine's Day-style breakup. A big, beautiful one at that, while Late Night is having a field day.
Donald Trump and Elon Musk engaged in a very gentlemanly, one might even say scholarly debate on the merits of tax cuts and government spending. And I'm just kidding. They're going at each other.
So now Donald Trump is a Tesla owner who hates Elon Musk? He's never been more relatable.
I knew this day would come, and yet somehow it's even better than I imagined. It's like coming down the stairs on Christmas morning and finding a second tree.
We are witnessing this battle in real time. They're paying for it a lot. The public may be paying for it when you think about all the misplaced energy and priorities. But it's also the question of how we live now.